there are fights this weekend in Denver, Colorado. Like I said, Rose Namajunas versus Tracy Cortez. I want to know, guys, first of all, tell me what you think about this fight. Nolan, is this a title eliminator for 125 pounds, Tracy Cortez versus Rose Namajunas? Why should we watch?
Yeah, I mean, I think honestly, it's a big fight for Rose in the title picture, and then I think outside of that, I mean, you got Manon Ferrell there, so I think this is probably 2 fights away from a title, whatever that is, a title eliminator. For Tracy Cortez, this is a huge spot. I think there's obviously she gets a lot of attention. She's somebody that has fought somewhat in terms of actually seeing her in the cage. I think she's been somewhat inconsistent in her appearances in getting to actually fight. But once in there, she's a good fighter. And now she's getting a massive jump up. She's somebody that if she wins, will have a massive push from the UFC, I'm sure. But it is a dangerous fight. So it's kind of a win-win for Tracy, in my opinion. And for Rose, she's fighting somebody that's dangerous in a fight that won't earn her a title fight, in my opinion. So I think it just reestablishes herself. It gets her one step closer, and maybe again maybe they'll run the Barber fight back or have her fight somebody else. But to me, it's an important fight, but I'm not sure I would give it like the stakes of really having a championship impact.
Mm-hmm. Matt, we usually wait till the end of the week till our fight analyst Dan Tom gives us a pick, but give us an early preview. Which way you leaning in this fight? We all have to turn in staff picks, so we've all kind of come to a conclusion at this point who we think is going to win, barring we see anything during the fight week that has us change our mind.
Yeah, I haven't submitted my picks just yet, but I am leaning towards Tracy Cortez winning this fight.
Really? Stop it, Matt. Really?
I'm going back and forth with it, but that's who I'm leaning to. I mean, she hasn't lost a fight since 2017, I believe. You know, she goes in there and figures it out, you know, and you can say that a lot about Rose, obviously, former champion. You know, she goes in there and she studies her opponents, obviously, and she, you know, is really, really savvy with her striking and, you know, figuring out her opponents. So it's a really intriguing matchup, man, and it's hard to pick. And that's why I really like it as a main event. I know I've seen some people complain saying it's not the best main event in the world, but I mean, it's a really, really good fight. And I'm glad it's 5 rounds because it gives both of them the time to figure each other out and make those adjustments and then see what happens in round 4 and round 5. I don't necessarily think we're going to see a finish here, but I think what we're going to see is a high level mixed martial arts fight. And it's really going to prove to the UFC, hey, like the winner here, if, you know, if somebody actually does find a finish even, or, you know, wins a very decisive decision, like it's going to be a real statement opportunity for both of them to really jump that line. Because like it was mentioned before, Manon Ferrell is right there. She deserves that title shot as well. So it's going to be an interesting opportunity for both ladies here to really make a statement and really prove that, hey, I'm ready for that title shot.
Karate Ted Tunes is disagreeing, Matt. He says Rose will overwhelm Tracy with speed. Tracy gets hit a lot. Goes, are you with Karate Ted Tunes or are you with Matt Wells?
Man, I love Matt Wells. Why are you trying to create a rift here? I guess I'm with Ted. I kind of agree. Tracy's going to show up, man. That's the one thing. You know, she's going to show up. She's going to apply pressure early on. Can she keep that up for the duration of the fight? Can she make the adjustments when they're needed, right? We know that Rose can do that. I feel like she may overwhelm Tracy. I think this is the type of fight that Tracy does need, though. But at the end of the day, I think Rose just may have too many tools for her. And I don't think there'll be a finish, but I think she'll probably win a decision.
Matt, she's used to the altitude. She's fought a lot of 5-round fights. She's at home. I don't know. You think Tracy's gonna win this fight? You're sticking with that pick? Because you caught me off guard when you said that. I thought it was just like the token question I asked, the layup.
No, like I said, it's close, man. It's close. It's not an easy pick for me, and I would not be surprised if Rose won. But you know, you kind of got to make a pick. You can't ride the fence on the staff picks, man. You got to go one way or the other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'm actually last in staff picks, so I really shouldn't be coming at anybody. I have no right to do that. I'm very, very far behind. I'm trying to catch Danny Segura, for crying out loud. But all right, well, that one really caught me off. I thought it was going to be like the headline was going to say unanimous main event. Here are the staff picks or whatever. A quick shout out to Farah Hanoun, Mike Bond, and I think Ken Hathaway. Somehow this fucking guy, our producer, just He's like the only guy that's won it twice, and he makes it sound like I kind of don't follow it as much as you guys or whatever. We're always saying Kenny pop on camera, but he's always at the top of the leaderboard, and somehow he snuck his way up. Remember, Mike was dominating, and then Fada caught him, and then today I had to like clear my eyes. I was like, what? How can he get back up there? So I don't know. We'll have to maybe pay attention to what Kenny says when his picks are posted,
right?
Yeah.
From this card, what else do you guys like that you want to give some shine to? Goes, pick one you want to highlight.
I like the Julian Erosa Christian Rodriguez fight. I think, there's already a little bit of smack talk between the two of them, which kind of makes it fun. Erosa is Jekyll and Hyde. Sometimes he can go out there and he can be technical, and then sometimes he just doesn't give an F, and he'll throw a flying knee or something. It depends on which one shows up. I think if he can kind of mix the two, he'll probably come out with a victory. But that one is kind of got me my ears perked up, although they kind of already perk up by themselves. But the trash talk, man, that got me.
Nolan, how about you?
Charles Johnson and Josh Van's probably my favorite fight on the card, but I got to give some shine to Jasmine Jasudavicius versus Fatima Klein. I think both of them with some gangster moves this past week. Fatima was preparing for the Contender Series. She gets a call up a weight class at elevation on about 9 days' notice to fight the 15th ranked fighter in that division. She says sure, and then conversely, Jasmine Jasudavicius, has her opponent fall off, and she gets offered this super prospect that everybody's talking about as the best female prospect outside the UFC, and she says sure. So very interesting fight, kind of a lot of weird intangibles here. But Jasmine Jasudavicius has an opportunity here to kind of silence the hype on Fatima Klein, who, if you don't necessarily follow the regional scene, somebody that people are saying might be a future champion down the line, main training partner of Aaron Blanchfield. Some people in that circle I talked to say they're kind of, neck and neck in a lot of those training sessions. So at 6-0, it's a pretty good place to be when you're entering the UFC, going at it with a flyweight contender, and I'm excited to see what she can do against a really tough test in Jasudavicius.
Lazy Bed in the chat says he likes Fatima Klein as well. Chris Goes Wild, he's on the other side. He hopes Jasmine Jasudavicius wins. JK, shout out to you. Thank you for the nice comment that you left. Somebody else that also agreed with the other pick, the other fight that was thrown out, Joshua Van and Charles Johnson, is Lazy Bed and Steve Williams. Yeah, I like that one too. But it's Matt Wells' turn. Matt, what's a fight that you want to give some shine to from the UFC Denver card?
Man, I really like that Fatima Klein fight as well. But I will go with this matchup because it's interesting where both of these guys are coming off of. They're both coming off of fights against very, very highly hyped, UFC pushed guys. Cody Brundage is coming off of that fight against Bo Nickel. Abdul Razak Al Hassan is coming off that fight against Joe Pyfer. Both of those guys lost in the second round to their opponents. They both got finished. So this is a big opportunity for both of these gentlemen here in Al Hassan and Brundage to bounce back and do it in a big way against each other. And I think it's going to be one of those exciting fights, man, because Brundage is going to have to watch out for that big power. Can Al Hassan deal with the wrestling? Cody Brundage. I just like the matchup, especially considering what they're coming off of in their last fights.
Nice. All right. And then in the last question, Matt talked about the booking of John Silva and Drew Dober because it really did get added late. But I love it. I love the fight booking. But in this case, I love the matchup. Just two hard hitters on ESPN. No NHL, no NBA. NFL hasn't even started yet. I think they're reporting to camp or who knows what they're doing. The soccer leagues, same thing. In fact, if you think about it, Copa America and the Euros, all they got is like third place games early Saturday. The big finals are on Sunday, I think. So there's really almost just MLB as your opposition. And so the UFC, I think, was smart to take two heavy-handed strikers to go out there and put on a show. I love that matchup. John Silva, like I say, just fought and just won, and Drew Dober fights never suck. So I love that matchup. I love the fight booking. And hopefully the UFC can kind of see where there's different spots, that they can do this, and really, really flex. And I think this is a big chance for them. It wasn't the greatest card a couple of weeks ago, but they've tweaked it a little bit, and I think it can actually sneak up on us and be great. The one thing they always had was a great main event. Even when they had the reshuffle of the deck, Macy Barber It would have been nice to see her, but it turned out to be Tracy Cortez stepping up. But I think it's going to be a great main event and a great card at the end of the day.